My name is Christy Jackson. It's December 20th, 2016. We're at the Veterans Center in Flambeau, Wisconsin, here with John Brown. We're going to do a veteran interview today. So, John, where and when were you born?
I was born in Woodruff, Wisconsin, Lakeland Memorial Hospital. Dr. Kate Newcomb was my mom's doctor at the time. They call her the snowshoe doctor. I was one of the last babies she gave birth to. I was probably the reason why she quit.
And what branch of the military did you serve?
I entered the United States Marine Corps in 1975. April 27th, it was the day. I had a ride. My recruiter gave me a ride to Rhinelander, and he gave me all my paperwork I needed, and I went to Milwaukee. AFI's building, I went through all the indoctrinating, that swearing in and the physicals and everything we did in Milwaukee. And then it took 3 days. I stayed at the YMCA. My mom and dad didn't even know where I was. My sister took me to the bus stop, and I came back. It was a Friday night. The bus came into Woodruff. My sister picked me up in my high school sweetheart. And my dad had a little Dixieland jazz band back in them days, and he was playing at the backwaters over in Squirrel Lake. We went over there, and when my dad and Uncle Buddy were playing, and I told him I enlisted in the Marine Corps. So then I went and told my mom next morning when I got up. She didn't have nothing to say right off the bat, but she was kind of happy with my choice. Get out of town. So then the day I was leaving, I told my mom and dad, so give me a ride to Rhinelander to get on the bus to go to Milwaukee. No, that's okay. She said, we'll take you to Milwaukee.
Oh, wow.
So they took me to Milwaukee. They wanted to make sure I got on that plane. So I entered the Marine Corps boot camp on October 1st of 1975. Go to San Diego in platoon 2113, the series 2113. And from there, they took me out of that platoon and put me in platoon 2116. That's the platoon I was in for 3 months upon graduation. I graduated December 31st, 1975, New Year's Eve.
Oh, wow.
Where the party that was when I got home.
What was your rank when you got out?
I was a sergeant. I was a platoon sergeant in 2nd Recon Battalion when I got discharged. That was the second discharge. My first discharge, I got out as a corporal from 2nd Force Recon Company. I got out a year and I went back in.
How many years did you serve the first time?
Pretty close to almost 8 years.
And then you got out for a year and went back in?
Yeah.
And then how long were you in the second time?
2.5.
And then why did you decide to do that?
It was a tradition in our family that we all served in the service. No, not a tradition, but everybody in our family, that was a kind of like a thing to do when you're young. Join the military, do your time, come home, or make a career out of it. I wanted to make a career out of it, but my ex-wife said otherwise.
And why did you pick the Marine Corps?
Everybody else in our family served in the Army and the Navy. And my cousin Jimmy was the first one to join the Marine Corps. He went in a year before I did. And I'm thinking, I was going to go in the Army. I had a friend of mine, Bobby Christensen. We were supposed to go on the buddy system in the Army. And before we went to the AFI's building, we were playing basketball at the YMCA, and he broke his arm, or broke his hand. So that ended that little stint we were supposed to do in the Army. But then after that, and I came back home, and I said, well, I'm just going to go in anyway. I'm going to go in the Marine Corps. His brother was a recruiter, P.D. Christensen. He was in the Army. He was a recruiter at the time, and he got kind of mad at me because I went in the Marine Corps. So I told myself, my cousin Jimmy could do it, I could do it, So I'm glad I did.
So after basic training and you were in the first days of your active duty, what do you remember the most about those days?
I got out of boot camp. I went to Kaneohe Marine Corps Station in Hawaii. The 1st Marine Brigade, 3rd Marine Regiment, 2nd Battalion. I was in H&S Company. I went in as a truck driver, but they sent me to Echo Company as a driver, as their Gamma Boat driver. And from there, I was doing all the duties that I did with Echo Company. All the training we went to Australia, New Zealand, on ship, on the board of USS San Bernardino. On the way down, but on the way back, we come back on a Fresno. Because they went and dry docked that one. And after we got back from that, then they transferred everybody over to 3rd Battalion. Because there wasn't nobody. Well, when I got to 2nd Battalion, there wasn't nobody in that battalion. Nobody. None of the line companies, all the line companies were empty. Because they got pretty much, I ain't going to say wiped out, but they pretty much got decimated in Vietnam. 2nd Battalion, 3rd, and the 3rd Battalion. But they maintained the battalion status. So they were starting to build the battalion back up again. So that's why they said, well, when I got to 2nd Battalion, they did that. They got it up to full battalion strength, and then they transferred us all over to 3rd Battalion, and that was empty. So when I got over there, they sent me to Kilo Company. Same thing I did with Echo Company. I was their goat driver. And we started building up our company, and we started doing all our field trainings and we were out in the field every other week, every month. We were training somewhere. So then after that, I got transferred to 2nd Force Recon Company in Campbell, June.
How many countries did you visit then?
1, 2, 3. Yeah, just 3.
So back to basic training. How was that?
Challenging. It was a challenge. I mean, you come from a little kid from the Northwoods, not used to anything, but then you get in there and you got, holy Christ, you make you stand too, right? For the first day, they're hollering and they're swearing and hitting and pushing, and I never forget that first day too. There was 5 of us in about 80, 85 guys that had long hair. There was 5 of us. I had hair down below my shoulder. My mom wanted me to cut my hair before I went. I said, nope. I said, I'm going to let them do it, They did too. They picked us all out. The first guys with long hair. You, get in here, It took me like 5 years to grow that hair, and it took them 30 seconds to cut it off. So yeah, they put you out on the yellow footprints out on a parade deck, and that's where you stood for hours. And they hauled us into the warehouse, and they give us all our gear and clothes, personal hygiene stuff, and then you got to go in this other, like a big classroom, and you got to go through all what you get and hold it up, and all the while your drill instructors are running behind you, kicking you and hitting you and swearing at you and quit looking at me, don't look at that. What are you smiling for? They're going up and down the line and harassing everybody. Scared the hell out of you, you're not expecting it. Then they get you out on a parade deck with your duffel bag and all your gear and try to march, and they try to, left, right, left. You can't do it because you've never done it before. There's a bunch of guys. That was funnier than hell. They got us to our first barracks. We were on the first floor. Oh, that was something, spit and polish everywhere, And we get in there, put all our gear away, made our bunks, and then they made us clean it again. I don't think we didn't get to sleep until 4 that morning. The first night, then we're up at 5, run us through the chow hall, and then we come back to the barracks, and oh man, then all hell broke loose every day. I think we seen that pit like 10 times a day. Pit was sawdust and sand about a foot deep. They make you go under bench and thrust. Mountain climbers benching or side saddle hops, and you're sweating, and they're doing it because you're punishing you for something, and we don't know what for, you know. But yeah, that was strenuous, you know. It's then you're trying to breathe, you can't because of that sawdust. Then we go through. Then every day we're going through classes, you know, to learn about the Marine Corps and first aid and rifle maintenance and all that. And then you go get your another physical. Then you get your shots. Oh, four in each arm and one in the behind. Or all at once. It took you 5 minutes running your know. We had one guy. I'll never forget this guy. His name was Chester. Little bitty African American dude, man. Little bitty guy, about, I don't know, 4.5 feet tall, 5 foot, you know. He was a loudmouth, you know, talking shit, you know. He's kind of like act like a badass. And he was behind us. And we all went through there and and that corpsman was playing darts on your butt. And you could feel that needle hit and it just bounced. Ooh, went out the back door. We're all standing in formation out there, and here comes Chester, crying like a cut monkey. Holy cried, that guy was tears as big as goat turds, man. That guy was crying just hard. Man, we laughed at him. I never know what happened to him. It was about a week later he was gone, and nobody ever knew what happened to him. So I don't know if he stayed in the Corps or they kicked him out or what, but that was funny.
So,
the only guy in 80 guys was crying.
So after basic training was over, how did you feel?
Oh, I felt proud of myself. We all were, you know, 80 guys standing in line. No, there was 68 of us at the end that graduated at that time. And got our uniforms on that morning, and we're all shaking hands. You know, hope to see you out in the fleet. You know, we did. I met a couple guys out in the fleet, but everybody kind of went their own way. You know, it was pretty cool. We all made it together. That was pretty fun.
When you're done with basic training, and did you go to advanced individual training or to train for your job that you were doing?
Yeah, I went through ITS, 6 weeks of ITS, infantry training school. Everybody had to go through that. Because in the Marine Corps, you know, even though you got an MOS, let's say, like I had a truck driver, MOS. But your primary MOS in the Marine Corps is like 311. And that's the infantryman. That's your primary MOS. No matter what your job you're doing, you're always going to be a grunt. And that's how we were. And when we were in 2nd Battalion, 3rd Battalion, we were grunts. Because even though you're driving a gamma motor or a truck, you're parking that thing and you're humping with the rest of the guys, you know. And that's the way they made it. It's already trained us. I went to motor transport school for a month in Candioi. Then I got out of that, got all my license I needed for that. Then I went to gamma boat school. That was a week and a half school. When I got out of that school, then they sent me to explosives ordnance so I could haul explosives. I went through 3 of those courses. I did 2 in Hawaii and I did 1 in Camp Lejeune. So the only thing I couldn't haul was nitroglycerin. The one thing they wouldn't let us haul. Everything else I could haul. 500-pound bombs, 1,000-pound bombs, I could haul it all. I had the clearances for it.
Did you serve in any wars?
No, we had no war. We had the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War was just over, May of '75, and we were on call a lot we had 2 on calls for Korea, and one was for Vietnam, 1 on call. they put the battalion on alert. We got to pack up all our gear and get to the airstrip. And we sat on, at one time we had a call for Korea. We sat at the airstrip for a day and a half. They gave us live ammo and everything, and there we sat. And the day after that day and a half, they sent us go on back to your barracks until the alert's over. The second time they did it, the same thing. Gave us all grenades, live ammo, and everything. I had an M60 mounted on my gamble and all my weapons and everything. Day and a half later, they sent us back. It's 3 times they did it to us in 1 year. So we were on alert for anything.
Did you receive any medals?
I had my good conduct medal. I had two good conduct awards because I was in over 6 years. And I got an Marine Corps Navy overseas deployment ribbon in my national defense. I got a Marine Corps Navy parachuters badge, the gold wings, and I got the Army jump wings. I got and my sharpshooter badge, rifle badge, and the sharpshooter pistol badge. Yeah, that's all I got.
How did you stay in touch with your family?
I got to make phone calls like, I don't know, once every 3 months or so. But we did a lot of letter writing.
What was the food like?
Ugh. It was horrible. Marine Corps food wasn't the best of chow, I tell you that right now. There were times we walk in the chow hall in Kaneohe Bay that I remember one particular time. You walk in the front of the line, you always got your salad and stuff first. And they had a great big bowl of salad out there that one particular day. It was full of maggots. It was full of worms. And I know that the cooks were, they go to cook school and everything, but it's like they're rushed to make the meals and everything. But yeah, it's not that good. The only chow I really liked was when I got to Cape Lejeune and they went to breakfast. They had that shit on the shingle, SOS. Oh, I don't know how they made it, but I wish I know how to make it, because that was the only meal I ate really, was that SOS. That was good. I used to like going there all the time, eat breakfast when I can.
So when you were in, was there anything special you did for good luck?
No, not really. We had me and my cousin Jimmy, we carried around our little tobacco bag, Couldn't carry any feathers with it, but we always had a little tobacco bag with us, had it in our room. I'd carry it in my pocket when I go out in the field. That's probably about the only one, yeah.
When you got to go on leave, what would you do?
Oh, come home. Spend time with the family and drink.
Do you have any photographs from back then?
Oh yeah, I got some. I lost a lot through the years. There was some I had. There was especially when I went to Australia and New Zealand, I had all my stuff stolen. It was like I wasn't even there. I got like 5 pictures of the total time I was in Australia, because I had 5 rolls of film, and I had all kinds of souvenirs. I had a little box in my locker of the souvenirs and postcards that I bought and stuff. But I don't know how it was. I think they were transferring from San Bernardino to the Fresno. When I put all my stuff in my wall locker down in the berthing area, I went back out I had one night left to go out on leave on the shore. That's when everything got stolen. And they cut my lock and took everything I had out of there. I was kind of mad too, because that's all I had. They even had my money stolen. I had to borrow money when I was in Australia, because when we was out on on our training, the whole battalion got on them U-boats, and they were all getting transported back to the ships they were on. We were the last ones on shore. Echo Company. There was like 15 of us with my Gamma Go. We're all sitting on the shore, and all of a sudden, all the ships started leaving, and here we're sitting on shore. Where the hell? The one ship just sat there, and here comes that U-boat. Finally, picked us up. They took us back to the ship, and then they told us when we got on there, they said, go in and get to the paymaster, get paid. So we got a shower, put all our gear away, cleaned it all up, went to the paymaster, and he looked at me and said, you got paid already. I said, how could I get paid? I just come from the shore. And we argued over that for a long time, and I looked at the pay roster. I said, that isn't my signature. So somebody stole my money. And I blamed that warrant officer, that chief warrant officer. I blamed him. And we went round and round, and the CO got called, and what can you do? You're only a PFC, and I told that CO, I said, I just come from the shore. I didn't get paid yet, and that's not my signature. And he went back to all the records and checked all my signatures on all my records, and that guy even told that guy, he said, that's not his signature. Who's got his money? He got his money. He got paid. So, well, when we get back to regiment, then we'll go on a further investigation. I never did get paid. So, that following week, I had to borrow money from my buddies. So, they were all, here's some money. Here, Brown, here's some more money. So, I paid them all back when I got back to Candioi, but that was bull because I never got my pay that time.
So, with that being said, what did you think of the officers?
Oh, we had some choice words for some officers. We went through like 5 commanding officers when I was in 2nd Battalion. They just weren't worth a shit, put it that way. But we had that one, just before they transferred me to 3rd Battalion, we had that one officer. He was a gung-ho Marine. I mean, he wanted to take the whole company and go kick some ass somewhere. He was a gung-ho kind of he was an RA commander. He was a fighter pilot in Vietnam. And they sent him back to the grunts because he kept doing flybys on them towers. And so they took his flying status away from him, sent him to the grunts. He was a good commander though. I never had no gripes about him, but the other ones were, no.
So when you were done with your service, what did you do on the day your service ended?
The first one, I got out with a friend of mine named John Bell. He was from Pennsylvania. We got out together October 1st of '79. And we rented a U-Haul. And I loaded all my gear and all his gear, and we towed his car on the back all the way to Pennsylvania where he was from. They spent a week over there with him. And then I jumped in that truck after a week and I came home with all my gear. And to find out I left one of my gear bags I left in Pennsylvania. So there was mostly all my tools, and I had a lot of training explosives in that bag that I wanted to bring home, and all the booby traps and concussion, or they're like assimilator grenades, and they're just as loud. I had a bunch of those and pop-up flares. I had a bunch of stuff, that I had that we weren't supposed to have, but I had. He had a lot too, but he had more, he had mine. So yeah, I came home and relaxed mainly. Got home, just took the U-Haul back and went home and just relaxed for about a month. My dad got me a job with the DNR. I think that's when I was. I mean, Yeah, I had a job with the DNR and I had other jobs elsewhere. And I bought a car, drink. Oh,
Trouble will begin.
that was fun. I ran into 13 snowbanks that winter.
Jeez.
5 telephone poles and 3 mailboxes. I wasn't used to driving in the snow in a car.
Wow. Did you continue the friendships you made in the service?
Oh yeah, I call them guys all the time. Back then, I had a guy up in Marquette, Michigan named Coyote. His name was Don Keel. I used to call him. Then I went up there that one time about 15 years ago, 18 years ago. I went up there and saw him, spent a weekend with him. Him and his brother and his mom. And Scott Davidson, I see him about every other year he comes up. He's got an uncle that's got a cabin up in Boulder Junction. And my other buddy Fudd, Charlie Allen, he's from Illinois, he comes up every summer, camps out at the campground. Him and his 2 boys, they come up all the time. I talk to him pretty much all the time.
So when you were out, did you join a veterans organization?
Yeah, I joined the VFW first because I couldn't get in the American Legion. Said I wasn't qualified. So I joined the VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars. So I was a member with them for 2 years, and then my Uncle Buddy got me membership into the American Legion, and I've been with the Legion ever since. Since 83, 84.
And what kind of activities do you guys do here?
We used to do a lot a long time ago. We used to do horseshoe tournaments, trap shoots, turkey shoots, baseball tournaments. We used to do concert even now and then. We used to do a lot. But all the old guys that really run the program, they pretty much all died off now. And then they didn't want to do it no more, so they all threw it at me, and didn't know what I was doing, but I learned as I went, But now we're trying to get back in the swing of things again, trying to get new members, but a lot of guys died again, so we got to pretty much start from scratch. When I got the members now, there are not too many of them that want to be active, but they just want to be members, so they're there, but we're trying to work with that, trying to get new members, so we could be more active again with fundraisers, or maybe start up horseshoe tournaments again, baseball tournaments and stuff. It's a work in progress.
So how did your service and experience affect your life?
Really huge. In the service, you learn, respect, discipline, cleanliness, how you care for yourself and other people. It's just a total change from when I wasn't in. Well, back when I was growing up, we were taught as we're growing up to respect your elders. Help your elders, and take care of yourself, your friends. Don't help everybody. But in the Marine Corps, I don't care what branch you're from, but you learn something different. To go with what you learned from your elders, when you're growing up. Well, back in the day, it was different from how they're growing up now. Kids nowadays, they're not being taught respect or responsibility, to help elders, help other people, help yourself, and how to teach yourself. But it helped tremendous. I don't think I'd be the man I am today if I wasn't going to service.
Is there anything else you'd like to add that we haven't covered?
If I had to do it again, I would. I'm 60 years old. And if the country ever needed it enough, I'd lie about my age. I'm 18. I want to go back in, They'll probably tell me no, but if I had to do it again, I would. In a heartbeat, I'd go back in. You can't go wrong being a bullet catcher. It's It's an experience, you know, I think all people should experience that. I think that they should have never got rid of the draft, is what I'm saying. They should have kept the draft going and just put people in there for a minimum of 2 years. Serve 2 years and go do what you wanna do, you know? I think they should do that to everybody. And this country wouldn't be where it's at right now. Gangs, drugs. I don't think it'd be as bad.
Well, Migos, for taking the time to share your story today. It's greatly appreciated. And thank you for your service.
Thank you. I'll do it again. I'll do another interview if you want me to, you know? I'm not too good on camera. I washed.
Yeah, you showered today.
I showered today. It ain't my time of month, but I cleaned.